is another presentation by My Weight World.
Nutrition myths. Don't be fooled. Nutrition advice is everywhere you look, on TV and internet, magazines and newspapers, as well as on cereal boxes and on the side of people's cars who are selling the latest magic juice. No wonder that with all of the advances in nutritional science, bestseller nutrition and weight loss books, many of us are as confused as ever. The goal of this presentation is to help you sort out nutrition facts and throw away the fiction, declutter your thinking about food and eating, and to improve your skills in making decisions about food choices that are right for you. Consider the common sources of nutrition advice, not only the books, internet, and television shows, but we also hear advice about what and what not to eat from our friends, family, hairdresser, healthcare providers, newspapers and magazines, and of course the health food store clerk. How do you know if what you are hearing is accurate? Is there some sort of agenda behind the recommendations? Is there a product such as a supplement or special and costly food or drink to sell? What are the credentials of the source of information? Have you reviewed the recommendations or suggested products with your healthcare providers? This is especially important if you are being treated for any medical condition. Remember, even with good and accurate advice, everyone's situation and medical status is different, so even well-intended advice can be harmful. Also, it is not a bad idea to ask yourself why you trust the source of information. Consider why so many people trust a famous television talk show host about diet and nutrition information. He or she may be phenomenally successful at what they do, but not so with health or other issues. And often famous people have trainers, cooks, and other advisors who disperse information very successfully, writing books, appearing on TV and the web. But remember, there are powerful marketing machines behind them as well. The sales clerk with the white coat may also look and sound convincing, but again, careful marketing and images are very convincing, and may, of course, lead us to believe that if an idea or study is in print, it must be true. Additionally, other well-respected professionals who are excellent in their own fields may find that they also profit from providing nutrition advice because of their status. Why is there so much confusion regarding nutrition messages? Those who report on or repeat nutrition information often don't know how to interpret information correctly. And small pieces of information from a study or finding don't give us the whole story. They are often taken out of context and elaborated on, otherwise known as stretching the truth. And in the science of health and nutrition, like with other sciences, well-designed studies are necessary to support recommendations. The science of nutrition is much more complicated than it seems. Understanding nutrition requires knowledge of human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and digestion. Nutrition science also requires an understanding of psychology, as well as cultural and social influences on how people choose foods and eat. And understanding nutrition also requires sound, evidence-based research to support recommended changes. So who can you trust? It is always a good idea to check with your personal physician to make sure any new changes in diet, special foods, or supplements are compatible with your medical status. But since physicians may not be able to keep up with the latest nutrition recommendations, they need to know a lot about many things. Seek out the help of a registered dietitian. A registered dietitian can be a valuable and cost-effective resource because they have years of training and internships through accredited university programs and must pass a national credentialing exam and maintain continuing education throughout their careers. This sets them apart from many other providers of nutrition information. Remember, nutritionist is not a legal term or degree. Let's look at a list of nutrition myths. Nutrition myth number 1, don't eat potatoes. Many think that because potatoes are white and a carbohydrate source, that they are fattening. Really, it's the butter, margarine, and sour cream that makes them high in calories. And potatoes are a great source of vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. Remember, portion control still counts, so about the size of your fist is usually just right. The idea that eating lots of protein will build bigger muscles is also false. It is easy for most people to eat their daily requirement of protein from regular foods. Protein requirements are based on body weight as well as health status, and excess protein intake leading to excess calorie intake will be stored as fat. This nutrition myth, heavily promoted in the 90s, still persists today. The idea that eating low-fat foods does not cause weight gain has gotten a lot of people into trouble, not to mention frustration with trying to eat healthier. Remember, just because a food is labeled low-fat or fat-free does not mean that there are no calories. Non-fat and low-fat foods can be quite high in sugars and very calorie-dense. Excess calories, no matter where they come from, are stored as body fat. Labeling of many foods, including milk products, can be surprisingly misleading. The myth that 2% milk is 98% fat-free is far from the truth. The 2% designation refers to the weight of the fat in the milk, not the amount or percentage of calories from fat. A cup of 2% milk actually contains about 35% of its calories from fat. That's about 42 calories out of the total count of 121 calories per 8 ounces. Another way to think about this is a cup of 2% milk is equal to a cup of non-fat milk with a pat of butter added to it. It is often difficult to remember that the words natural, herbal, or even organic don't mean anything but are good for you. However, these are more marketing techniques that can fool us, and there are many natural supplements and herbal preparations that can actually be harmful to our health. Foods labeled as natural and organic can still contain an excessive amount of sodium, sugars, and fats, leading to weight gain. Remember, tobacco, toxic mushrooms, and many other harmful substances can also be called natural. And there have been instances where some herbal medicines have been discovered to contain prescription drugs. Nutrition myth number 6. Don't eat after 7 or 8 or 9 p.m. or you will gain weight. It is often said that we burn calories that we eat early in the day, while food eaten at night turns directly to fat. No matter what time it is, your body digests, absorbs, and uses food and calories the same way. The real issue is, are you eating more than what your body needs? However, many people do eat at night for other reasons than hunger, and often high-calorie foods, especially in front of the TV. Many think that unless you eat fresh fruits and vegetables, you are not getting good nutrition. Actually, for many people, using frozen or canned produce can really boost nutrition intake and be a great addition to a weight loss diet because of the variety and convenience. Fresh foods can actually lose nutrients if they are allowed to sit too long, either in the grocery store or your refrigerator. Remember, food is not really nutritious unless you actually eat it. Frozen produce is usually flash frozen after harvest and retains most of its nutrients. And you can typically find a large variety of frozen vegetables when fresh are not in season or available. They are quick to prepare and ready to use without much preparation or cleanup. Canned produce is also highly nutritious as it is processed quickly, but be sure to look for lower sodium varieties. This idea has been around for quite a while, that we need 8 glasses of water a day for good health. Actually, people's water needs vary depending on several factors. These include health status, physical activity level, and especially environment such as temperature and humidity. Also, you can get significant amounts of water from the foods you eat, especially from fruits and vegetables, which are about 90% water by weight. That's why they are so great for weight control. Other fluids such as coffee, tea, milk, and juices also count. Vitamin and mineral supplementation is big business, and this can often lead us to believe that if we take enough vitamin and mineral supplements, then it doesn't matter much what we eat. However, this can get us into trouble. Foods contain much more than just vitamins and minerals. Important components of foods, such as water, fibers, and other nutrients, can't be put into pills. Nutrition should come from food first. Supplements are a safety net. When dieting and restrictive eating continue over time, especially with unhealthy approaches, the risk of developing an eating disorder can increase. Many think that only thin females develop eating disorders. However, eating disorders including anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating can occur in people of all shapes, sizes, and all across the lifespan. In fact, eating disorders in middle-aged and older women are becoming much more recognized. Eating disorders also do occur in men. Misconceptions about dieting can lead to eating disorders, which in turn create a much more serious problem. Eating disorders require skilled professional treatment with a team including a physician, therapist, and dietitian, preferably who work together closely to help the afflicted person recover from this serious condition. If you think you have no metabolism, remember that only non-living things have no metabolism. Your heart, lungs, liver, and other vital organs are thriving and need energy. If you have tried cutting down on calories drastically to lose weight, you may certainly lose weight at first from extreme calorie imbalance and water loss. In the short term, it's very hard to live with hunger and deprivation, and over time your body will realize that it's starving and start conserving energy, making it easier to gain the weight back. This is why people who go on and off many diets over time end up much heavier than when they started. In summary, we have covered some of the many myths about diet and nutrition that are and always will be misleading many people. Remember, don't believe everything you hear about nutrition and weight control. Ask yourself and your healthcare providers, does this seem logical? Beware if you are told you must buy special foods, supplements, or equipment by anyone who sells them in order to see results. And of course, always consider the information sources.
This has been another presentation by My Weight World.